Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's time for Comics Revisited. Today we're talking about Geoff Johns' Aquaman. That's right everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers, Comics Revisited. Today we're talking about Aquaman by Geoff Johns from the New 52 over at DC Comics. I am Rockin' Robbie Billups. This is Brooks the Magnificent. Hey Brooks, thank you for being on the show. You excited to talk about some Aquaman?
Oh yeah.
Last week we talked about Peter David's Aquaman. Now we're talking about the New 52 Aquaman. And regardless of what you thought about the New 52, we all have our thoughts and opinions about that. Aquaman is one of the standout things, one of the standout books in the book. I mean, in the run, in the whole line, absolutely. Aquaman by Geoff Johns, he completely redefined the character, took these classic moments, he brought back the original origin, got rid of that gunky post-crisis weird, you know, Atlantean sorcerer type thing, right? And he brings back the idea that Tom Curry's there. He was a lighthouse keeper. He's got this connection to land and sea. He's the reluctant monarch. All this stuff is encapsulated in Geoff Johns' run. Does a fantastic job. You got Ocean Master. You got Black Manta. All of it right out of the gate. So much fun. New elements brought in to the mythology of Aquaman, like the Trench and the Others. Those books have been awesome. The storylines were awesome. Really fun stuff. Amazing, highly detailed, rich artwork by Ivan Reis and Joe Prado. Amazing stuff. Even when Paul Pelletier comes in, continues on with some amazing artwork. I love this book so much. It was such a joy to reread, and it was even better to me on the reread. Brooks, what did you think about it?
I like this. Did a lot. You know, I was like, the New 52 kind of works for me because I wasn't too big into DC in the first place.
Right, okay.
And a lot of it had to do with, you know, the continuity of the books being so, like, you know, strange.
Yeah.
Kind of twisty and turny. But it
was more accessible.
Just kind of, you know, like, say, like, forget all that stuff, you know. This is what, you know, the character is.
Yeah.
And,
the true essence of it.
Yeah, and I think they really kind of portrayed Aquaman the way he was meant to be.
Yeah. From the Peter David run on, there were like a lot of different attempts to try to reinvigorate the franchise of Aquaman, or the franchise that never was, I should say. You had Rick Veitch came in and did this one where he tried to tie it to some Arthurian type legend. Harry didn't like that. Some Arthurian type legend. He had like a water hand. Then they did this cool Sub Diego story that was really, really fun. But then they eventually did the story with Kurt Busiek. There was another Aquaman, and then Aquaman died, right? And so Aquaman was one of those Black Lanterns in the Blackest Night story, and then they brought him back at the end of that. And in Brightest Day, that's basically where this run starts. The Brightest Day stuff really had a big highlight on Aquaman and Mera, and it was written by Geoff Johns, and it was drawn by Ivan Reis. Really good stuff that leads right up into this. New 52 was just a perfect opportunity to redefine Aquaman, make the origin a little bit more classic, make the character badass, but still look classic, still feel like the Aquaman that we knew and loved from kids, or at least I knew and loved as a kid, but still had that edge to him that Peter David brought into the character. He still has that. Really fun stuff. Really like this story. So basically it starts off, the first story is the Trench. There's this underwater crazy civilization of these like just carnivore crazy like
human piranha.
Yeah, human piranha type things. That's fun. That's crazy. Aquaman's no longer in Atlantis. They're redefining everything in here. Then they do the Others story where they introduce the whole idea of the Others. They're really cool, but that is in particular, fantastic Black Manta story where you find out more about Aquaman and Black Manta's rivalry and the idea that Black Manta is angry and wants revenge on Aquaman because Tom Curry had a heart attack when Black Manta was trying to come in and get some like Atlantean artifacts or something like that, right? He was trying to shake him down to get some information about Atlantis. And Tom had a heart attack and he died from that. Aquaman, seeking out revenge on Black Manta, finds his father and accidentally kills him. So it just puts a whole new spin on it. That's awesome. Then they do the Throne of Atlantis story where they finally introduce you to the world of Atlantis and Ocean Master. That whole story arc, crossover with Justice League. Really fun. Then they finish it up with his Death of the King story where they have the original first king, the guy that sunk Atlantis, Atlan, which is his dad in the post-crisis, pre-Flashpoint continuity.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's really fun stuff. Really liked it, and it ends with him once again taking on the throne of Atlantis and being the king. And then it leads on to a few more runs by Jeff Parker, Cullen Bunn, and now Dan Abnett, and upcoming Kelly Sue DeConnick. So that story to me is awesome. What are some of your favorite moments from this whole run of Aquaman?
Oh, I really liked Mira in these.
Oh, yeah.
This one. Well, I think probably the part that sticks out the most is when Mira is confronting this dude that, like, I guess beat his kid.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And so, like, he's coming at her, and she just, like, starts pulling the water out of him.
Yes.
And like
this is what it's like without water for a day, 2 days. Man, she is so badass in this book, and Geoff Johns does a great job of spotlighting Mira as a character, not only in support of Aquaman, but actually how kind of sometimes she feels like the star of the book, and I really love it. She's a great character.
She's kind of more powerful than Aquaman.
Oh, she is totally more powerful. Now, Aquaman's got some nice powers, and Geoff Johns does a great job of spotlighting that. The opening scene when with the bank robbery or whatever, and he stops the truck, and they're shooting at him.
The people in, like, I don't get the people in this place, like, because this is, like, supposed to be the city he's lived at for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But, like, everybody acts like he's the lamest, like, thing ever, even though he's, like, their superhero.
Yeah. What is it? Amnesty Bay. That's right?
I was like, do these people not know
I thought it was really brilliant.
anything about him?
I thought it was really brilliant of Geoff Johns to start the book that way, because first of all, it places...
I think it's kind of like a reflection of, how people perceive Aquaman.
Of the real world's perspective on Aquaman, and it also it immediately takes you so yes, I know who Aquaman is, and then you find out very quickly that is not who Aquaman is.
Yeah.
And even using the powers when he, like, telepathically controls fish and things like that, it's awesome, and it's so cool, and it works, and it's majestic. And one of the things that Ivan Reis and Paul Pelletier, when they did the artwork, is they made it feel like it was underwater. And sometimes when I'm reading an Aquaman book, or even like a Namor book over at Marvel Comics, and I don't feel like, why are they standing on the ground? Why are they sitting down in chairs? And the artwork really feels like Atlantis kind of has a more fluid, aquarium almost type vibe, where you have openings where you can float in, and you see the people just... I don't know, there shouldn't be so much just standing and sitting and walking around. Like, people want to sit at a table and eat in Atlantis underwater. Is that how that's going to go down? I don't know.
Why not, man?
I think Geoff Johns does a great job of world building on this run. What do you think about that? About building up this whole mythology of giving Aquaman not just a definitive character for him and for Mira, but filling in this world around him with the Dr. Stephen Shin stuff.
Yeah.
All the Ocean Master, that stuff.
Ocean Master is one of my favorite.
Yeah. Let's talk about Ocean Master. Why is Ocean Master Orm? Why is he one of your favorites?
Well,
and he gets a bad rap in this book, doesn't he?
Yeah. But he's very sympathetic, because when you first see him, like you hear about him, like there's I guess the servant Volko. He tells a story.
Yes.
That he was he's trying to make him think that he'd killed his mother, maybe.
Yeah.
But then later on, they're just meeting, and they have like an established relationship. So it feels kind of like something got skipped in between there, between him being told that by Volko and him actually meeting Orm.
Okay. Yeah.
But they make him very he's very real. He's not looking for trouble. He doesn't want to destroy the surface.
He though.
He doesn't care about the surface. Like, as long as, we're not fucking with his stuff, he's like, fine,
I love how when he comes up to the surface, he expects that Aquaman should rule it, right? He's like, why else did you come up here? Right? I love that. Ocean Master's great. I think Black Manta is amazing in this book. I always loved Black Manta because of the challenge of the Super Friends, and because of his dome head. He had the coolest voice out of all of them. Shoots lasers out of his eyes, man. And in the trailers for this Aquaman movie, that just looks amazing, right? Like, Black Manta is such a great character. This gives him a motivation. It gives him a motivation where he's a little bit more of a sympathetic character, but he's still just so into Aquaman. I love the moment where they ask him to join the Suicide Squad, and he tells them, no, I'll only die for Aquaman. Oh my goodness, he's just got this very narrow-minded, myopic just view about revenge on Aquaman, and it's like, it's infective when you read it, I'm like, I kind of want to. It's like the Coyote and the Roadrunner, where sometimes you want the Coyote to get him, you know, and you're like, yeah, that's right, do it, yeah. So Mirror's awesome, Orm's awesome, Black Manta is awesome. Volko, let's talk about Volko. They changed Volko because back in the day, Volko's this like old, you know, like advisor to the king, and he's got white hair, but he's a little bit different in here, and they made him a more complex figure, and a more interesting character to me because he basically betrays Atlantis in order to save Atlantis during the Throne of Atlantis story.
He's in exile.
Yeah, he's in exile, and he sets up this war between the surface and Atlantis. Because you're thinking the whole time, like, Ocean Master set this shit up.
Yeah.
Right? But no, that's not what happened. It was Volko. So I really like the idea there and how it adds a little bit more layers to Volko. Tula is awesome in it. Aqua Girl from back in the day, that's Aqua Girl, his half sister. Really interesting characters. Geoff Johns just shines on them. You think what do you think of the character work in the book? Like Aquaman's got an arc and Mirror's got an arc. Everybody's got a very solid like thing to do.
Yeah, it does tend to stay mostly on Aquaman now.
I think this is the perfect distillation of who Aquaman is as a character. So what do you get from Geoff Johns' run? Who is Aquaman? What is he? What does he represent?
Well, Aquaman is like he's one of those guys who always feels so responsible for everything, you know? Like he feels like he's not in control enough. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like he's always, you know, it's what leads to him being kind of, you know, grumpy-ish, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of being like more of an asshole character, but, you know, not really.
And he's got the whole element of being torn between the land and the sea, and nobody respects him. See, that's the thing.
It's like,
right
the thing
is,
like, all the disrespect he gets, I think.
He's the Rodney Dangerfield of superheroes.
And, like, he doesn't, it's like he's so numb to it. It's like he doesn't even care. And Mirror's like, why do you let them talk to you like that?
Dude, I love it. Like, Orm is just, like, flabbergasted. You're not their ruler. They don't call you king. They don't treat you as royalty. They don't respect you. Like, what is going on? We should totally destroy this. And now, in that story, Throne of Atlantis, Orm is responsible for the deaths of thousands of Bostonians, right? And at the end of that story, Aquaman kind of tricks him into a situation where, you know, that's not like Atlantis doesn't want to lose Orm as their king, right? But to appease the Justice League and the surface world, he has to give them Orm because he's responsible for all these deaths, even though it wasn't something he set up. It feels like Volko should be the one who get all that, right? Instead, Volko winds up in an Atlantean prison. Some interesting type stuff. What do you think about that last story? We're going to talk about that real quick. Death of the King. So Aquaman's the king now. He goes off, and then somebody, what was it? When he comes to the ocean and he's talking to the fish, he like awakens and he's like he's like under all the Arctic ice or something, and he comes and he walks and he goes to Zebel, and you find out a lot about that, and it sets up this whole rise of the seven seas and the seven kingdoms. And it ties in the trench and all that stuff together. It ties everything up with a neat little bow. I like the moment, too, where he tries... Is that the book where he tries to control Topo?
Yeah.
And yes, Topo, by the way, who's just this goofy octopus sidekick back in the Silver Age, is now this giant, monstrous, like Kraken type. Yeah. And he can't really control him. When he tries to do it, he's out for 6 months.
And it's like he basically is like, are you going to listen to me today? He's like, nope.
Yeah. Oh, man. What do you think about that that whole finale, the big finale there?
Well, I thought it was, you know, it was a good run to, you know, a good story to go out on. You know, if you're gonna do a run on Aquaman.
Absolutely.
It was like just go for broke, you know.
Let's go for broke. Tie all the loose threads together. Bring everything into a head. And Jeff Parker took the run right after it, and it does have a misstep toward the middle of his run, but his run's pretty good and solid too. And it actually reveals that Aquaman's mother may not really be dead. Anyway, we got this Aquaman movie coming out, and if you want to get into Aquaman, you want to know what's going on with the character, I 100% suggest these are the books to do it. It's The Trench, The Others, Throne of Atlantis, and Death of a King. All 4 of those will have links down below, so you can check them out on Amazon for great prices and help support PCP. This is the Aquaman story you want to read if you want to get into this movie. He's not going to be completely Momoized, but he's awesome, he's badass, and one of my favorite parts is when he's trapped in the desert. That's one of the best single issues of the whole run, is when Aquaman's in the desert and he still gets it done. I love this run, love this story. Is this something you'd recommend?
Oh, yeah.
And what's one of your favorite parts?
My favorite parts?
Or another great issue, whatever you're about to say. I was trying to lead you in. I thought you were going to say something.
But yeah, actually, another good Aquaman story worth checking out. I think Drowned Earth has been pretty good so far.
Drowned Earth, the current run right now. Yeah,
I've been really enjoying it. It's got a lot of emphasis on Aquaman as well.
Yeah, current crossover
Mira
with
and
Justice
Ocean
League.
Master.
Yeah, Mira, Ocean Master, all the stuff's there. Aquaman is hype right now. We're so pumped for this movie. By the time you watch this, I believe it's already out, and we should have a review out very, very soon for that. So thank you guys so much, and like I said, seriously, this is the Aquaman run to read. Geoff Johns, Ivan Reis, fantastic stuff. New 52 Aquaman, one of the best New 52 books out there. The best run of Aquaman, in my opinion. Just a very solid 25 issues, 26, I guess, considering the 0 issue. Really fun stuff, great stuff, even more considering the crossover with Justice League. Whatever. Let us know what you think about Geoff Johns' Aquaman, or what are your favorite Aquaman runs, if not Geoff Johns, down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups. This is
Brooks.
The Magnificent. And join us and check us out over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts and a whole lot more. And don't forget, you can help support this channel at patreon.com/PCP. I've been Rockin' Robbie. This is Brooks. We've already said that. Umbrellas!